everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica, and today's video is going to be about Life of Fred. So every time I mention that we use Life of Fred, especially when I say that it's the main thing we use, I get tons of questions. The number one question I always get is it enough, and what else do you do with it? So I'm going to try to answer that, but I need you guys to keep in mind that by answering this, I'm answering based off of is it enough for us and for my daughter, not whether it's enough for your kids, because that's a decision you're going to have to make for yourself. I will preface this entire thing by saying that last year and the year before that, anytime we did anything math related, it normally ended in tears, and it resulted in Emily hating, according to her, math, and it being the subject that she didn't like and that it was useless and so forth and so forth. However, it was actually very funny to me because when we were at the convention last month, we were on the bus and this sweet homeschool lady was sitting next to her, and of course, as a homeschool mama, she starts asking her questions and entertaining her a little bit on the bus ride over, and she asked her what was her favorite thing about homeschool, which of course Emily was like, because it's fun, and the lady's like, yeah, but during homeschool, what's the favorite thing you do? Which Emily kind of drew a blank, like, well, duh, have fun. So she said, what's your favorite subject? And Emily goes, oh, that one's easy, math, because Fred changed my life. And to which I tried not to well up in tears sitting across the aisle, because Emily absolutely has always hated math. It's been the thing that she dislikes the most. Like, if you ever said before this year, what do you not like about homeschooling? It would have been math. So to hear her say that her favorite subject was math because Fred changed her life, that in itself, for me and our family, makes Life of Fred enough, because it makes her view of math different. All right, but now for my honest opinion as a mom. I'm going to sit here and tell you, Life of Fred is weird. Like, sometimes reading it, I'm like, wait, what? I mean, he's a 5-year-old who's a professor at a university. That in itself is like kind of out there. But it is extremely appealing to kids. As a mother, reading it out loud, sometimes I'm like, there's no way she can be getting this out of it. But she is. It's engaging, and she gets all of the math concepts almost always the very first time. And for the most part, Life of Fred is all we have done for a year and a half now. I mean, obviously we still play tons of math games because that's just our lifestyle in general. But as far as like a curriculum or following something other than just, something here and there, we have exclusively done Life of Fred. So far we have gotten through apples, butterflies, and cats. And Emily is proficient in addition and subtraction, double-digit addition, double-digit subtraction. She can carry and she can borrow with a little bit of assistance when we're doing double-digit subtraction. She has started to explore multiplication totally on her own. Like, she was sitting in her bedroom one day and looked at her dresser that had the knobs on it and was like, Mom, so is 3 times 2 6? Just out of nowhere. So she's interested in math, which makes a world of difference. Now, my daughter is an auditory learner, so anything that revolves around a story has always been the best fit for her, which is why Life of Fred does work very well for her. So if your child is not an auditory learner, Life of Fred may not be enough. If they're kinesthetic, there's really not a whole lot of hands-on. You're gonna need to add manipulatives to it. If they're visual, you're gonna need to add the visual element to it. It's easy to do, but you would have to do that, because this is just a read aloud. It's reading aloud and answering the questions. I will occasionally do a Moffat Girl math worksheet if she needs some extra help on a certain topic, like if there's one that she's just not getting. But other than that, we did exactly what the author suggested, which was play games for math facts, and that's how she's learned the majority of her math facts. Now, I am going to turn you around and show you inside a few of the Life of Fred books, kind of give you an overview in case you're not familiar with them. And I'm also going to show you these review sheets that are available on the Life of Fred Facebook group if you feel like you need kind of like a test for them to pass the book that they're in, and you need, as a mom, a little bit of a pat on the back that they're actually done it, they're actually learning, or if you need something to put in your portfolio as a worksheet or a proof of what they've learned for the books. All right, so this is Life of Fred Apples. Each of the books has 19 chapters in them, at least each of the elementary books. And then in the table of contents, you can see that each chapter shows you all of the different things that it covers. What I love so much about Life of Fred is it's not just math. As you can see, you're learning about, yachts and the story of the Titanic and what checkmate is. You learn about Archimedes. You learn about reading the newspaper, facts about February. She learned deciduous trees in one of them, letters of the Greek alphabet. So it has a ton of other stuff that it covers outside of just math. So the way Life of Fred works is here's a chapter. So you would read chapter 1. It has these quirky little pictures every now and then to kind of help you visualize some of it. And then at the end of each chapter is a your turn to play. Now it tells you to take out a sheet of paper and write your answers down before you check your work. So I always hold the book so that there's no, temptation. And then you ask the student or you have them do these questions. Then you check your answers. And then you have another chapter. Now we personally do about 1 chapter a week so that I can, make sure that we're still playing games and doing more talking about the concepts, cooking and playing games and doing things like that. Sometimes we do 2 chapters a week. But you can see here we go over days of the week. You're doing addition and subtraction. They're teaching you, that you can add either way. I mean, here she's doing the find the missing add-ins. You're doing, temperature, counting by 5s and 10s. It's just in a different format. And then she even got into a little bit of algebra as well, like 3x plus 4x. There was actually quite a bit of the simple algebra like that in this book. I'm going to take you to one of the last chapters in this book just to show you. Okay, this is chapter 18, so one from the end. So this would be the end of apples, which I suggest this for 1st grade. We tried apples in kindergarten and it was okay, but I suggest starting in about 1st grade. So you're doing some money. You have set. It gets into cardinal and ordinal numbers. So that is apples. And then, like I had said, in the Facebook group for Life of Fred, they have these review sheets that some kind person in the group has made. So at the end of apples, just so you kind of have an idea, these are some of the things that they would be able to do. So you have addition, greater than, less than, and like I said, they've gone up to 3-digit numbers. They can solve for x in equations like this. They can tell time to the hour, I believe even to the 30 minutes as well. And then they can match the different shapes as well. I'm going to go ahead and show you the table of contents and butterflies just so you can pause and see it if you would like to. And then, like I said, same setup, 19 chapters, and then here is the butterfly review. So you'd be able to see what your child should be able to do by the end of butterflies. And I'm going to go ahead and do cats too, which these would just be the first 3 books, which this is where we ended in 1st grade. So these were the 3 books we got through in 1st grade, just so if you have another 1st grader, you can kind of compare it to maybe what you did or what another math would be. So here's the table of contents. And then here is the Life of Fred Cats review. So this is what they should do at the end of Cats. And now Emily actually did do these and did fine on them. I just didn't want to show her work. I wanted to show you a blank piece of paper. So I reprinted them. And so that's it. That is Life of Fred, apples, butterflies, and cats.